Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning, this is my son Ben. And today I have to carry this video because you've never been to Linkwood, right?
No, I've never been to Linkwood. I don't even know anything about Linkwood. Is it Speyside or what is it?
It's a Speyside.
And it's 90% right when you guess Speyside.
One of the workhorses of Diageo for the blended whiskey industry. And it has a still house with these big windows from the late 60s, starting 70s. Like there are so many distilleries of Diageo out there. And the specialty is on the other side of the courtyard, there is the old still house where stills are. Yeah. And so they are able to produce quite a decent amount of single malt whiskey. And it's a very, very typical Speyside. And there is a Linkwood, original Linkwood out there from the Flora and Fauna series. But that's all. There are no older whiskies out there. No specialties out there. So if you're going to, or if you're looking for special Linkwood whiskies, then you have to go to the independent bottlers. And here we have an independent bottle from Signatory Vintage. And this one is 22 years old. It's an exclusive to our company. So sorry for all aboard. No whiskey for you, but a dram for us. No, just kidding. I think Signatory Vintage has more casks out there, but
they're still rare.
Still rare, priced above €100, dollars, pounds. It's a 40% unchill filtered, uncolored whiskey. There are bottles out there, but we were able to select a cask which suits our needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you look at the information on the label.
Natural color and probably unchill filter.
Unchill filtered.
Correction. 46%. If you have 46% ABV, I had that before, then it just cries, oh, we're just the minimum amount where we can go unchill filtered. And it's just 46% cries that.
Yeah.
There's not much on that bottle. On that tube.
So we forgot
to change the glasses.
To change the glasses.
Oh, okay.
So we have to do it this way.
It's just out of view.
And here they are telling us the first time this is a first use hogshead.
First use hogshead.
So if there is on a bottle, like the last one we tasted just 10 minutes ago, that was hogshead, then it was a refill hogshead. Now it's a first use hogshead. Cask number 8729.
But was the hogshead built from a bourbon cask that has been used
No.
2-3 times?
No. In former times, the American standard barrels came over in those old days. It's 96. Well, probably not. They came over in staves. Mm-hmm. They were smashed down or dismantled, better word, to use up the space in the containers better, because the container freight rates were really high. And today, the labor to reconfigure casks is much more expensive than the freight rates. So in that time, it was built from staves,
Yes.
from fresh casks coming over from the US. So here we go. I'm responsible for you. I'm the father.
I'm 34 years old now.
Still my son.
I have to say, I tried quite some whiskeys today already. Oh.
So this is definitely not that high strength we had before. So it's much more friendly to the nose. And there's this typical Speyside, friendly, fresh fruitiness with citrus, with oranges, wonderfully carrying the maltiness of a old Speyside, 22 years of age, this is really a mature Speyside.
It's I love it. It's the citrus fruit that you said is definitely going into that orange direction, and it's a very juicy orange. And what else did you say? That I had there's a kind of a creamy character also in this, and what you said, maltiness. That's one of these typical for me smells that cries single malt whiskey.
Yeah.
That has a maltiness to it.
This is a very typical Speyside.
This is that smell that, for me, represents single malt whiskey.
Yeah. And it's old enough, which you nowadays quite often lack with the bottlings. They're too fast to the market, and this one really has 22 years old. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Fruitiness is there, but then you have an oiliness on your tongue and some covering of the inside of your mouth. Shows the oak, the old, the maturity. The tip of my tongue sticks to behind my teeth, so there's some dryness in it, and some of these intense bourbon American white oak flavors, say it that way.
A lovely mild single malt, a typical single malt. But I have to add, there's a bit of a, well, you have the maltiness, you have the fruitiness, you have it's a ripe fruitiness with a bit of a more a juicy orange flavor, just as the smell gave you. But within the taste, I do have a bit of a very faint aromatic note. I'm not quite sure if I want to translate that into a smoky note or not quite, but it's some aromatic note that there is a remembrance of smoke, I would say. It's not real smoke.
Could be that it's from the boundary layer between the charcoal and the caramelized wood. In between that, you
very
get
very
some
faint.
Some
So Linkwood is 100% no peated.
yeah.
Oh, this is one of these whiskeys that's old enough to order its own whiskey. That's one of these what do you call it? Memes that's going around like, I like my scotch so old that it can order its own scotch.
Yeah.
But that's a good
Good one. With the second sip, there's more of oak in it on my tongue. Now there's the old oak in it. So this is as a single malt from the Speyside should be. So this is the old character of old single malt whiskey from Scotland. So all the new whiskey is not that.
But the very very old before. Is there a time before the sherry was kind of? There was a time when they had fresh oak casks, and then they came in with the sherry.
But the sherry, I think, was earlier than the bourbon casks.
Earlier than the bourbon cask,
So
but
definitely.
I think before that they built their own oak cask.
Yeah, those smaller ones which you can carry on a mule. Yeah. Yeah. So this is, I think, we will see that one again. So I like it really.
I like it. And the beauty about that is it has also a bit of a journey, as all good whiskeys should have, because it starts off fresh, nice Speyside, a character, and then you end up with a good amount of oak and more of the deep flavors within the finish of the whiskey. But it has a long finish. To really come into that finish without the sweetness takes quite some time. I like it.
Okay.
So
this is only 308 bottles out of that cask. Typical hogshead.
Not only 307 left.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for watching. If you found this video interesting and you'd like to learn more about whiskey, then feel free to go around on our Whisky channel. It's all about whiskey, or go to Whisky.com and find out all in written text, and you will find these videos on Whisky.com as well. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.